Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild and Wingless. Tonight I got with myself, Stephen Hateley. How are you tonight, Stephen?
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. Yep,
That,
had a good run.
that's good. Mate, I've been wanting to have you on the show for quite some time. You are the famous Mr. YouTube, so I think it's pretty good, and I hope nearly everyone who watches these videos has seen one of your videos once upon a time, if they're not subscribers already. But for the other people who don't know who Stephen Hateley is, please, do you mind giving us a brief racing history of where you got started to where you sort of are now?
So yeah, I started a long time ago. Just racing at our local track here at Horsham. Bought a 3-litre sedan Altarana. Always been a fan on the hill, so I'd never had anything to do with racing. None of my family's had anything to do with racing. We've just been, Dad would take us once or twice a year down to Hamilton. Horsham never even had a track back them days, and bought an Altarana. First time I was ever in the pits at a speedway, I had my own race car, so that was I was really green, and relied on couple of people I half knew to point me in the right direction on what I was doing, and away we went. So, yeah, raced that for a couple of years in 3-litres, then stepped up to a Commodore, had a Commodore for 4 or 5 years. Got a little bit disillusioned with that division, just the numbers and things were dying. It was a class on the way out, you could see that coming. And I watched Freddie Walsh actually end up hanging from the fence at Horsham one night, and I thought, geez, I've got to get myself one of these. These look pretty cool. So that's where it started, yeah. I didn't know Freddie at the time, but that's where it started. Ended up in a wingless. So been racing them now for 6 or 7, 8 years, something like that, 7 or 8 years, I reckon now. So yeah, been around for a while.
Mate, geez, and you even got to see Freddie hang himself. That was awesome.
Yeah, he broke 2 wrists, I think, and it was his last race for a long time. But
oh no,
I found out later on. But that was years and years ago now. But yeah.
No, he's a good man. Yeah. Hello, Freddie, if you're watching. All right. So tell us what do you enjoy about the wingless division?
I on it a lot. I think it's the greatest division in speedway in Australia. I really do. I've raced a lot of stuff over the years. Raced obviously 3-litre sedans, raced trucks, local stuff, and then raced the wingless stuff. And it's super competitive. Like especially down here in Victoria, we race every week with 40 or 50 cars, and any one of those cars, well, not any one of them, but like any night, there's 10 or 20 guys that, could end up at the front. So super competitive, super cost effective, lots of racing. Like we race up to 25 times a year. So it's part of the problem when I was racing 3-litres was every time there was a big race on somewhere, I had to work or I had this on. Wingless, I can just every weekend, let's go across to Iora and have a run, or let's go to Simpson or wherever, jump in a car and drive to New South Wales and have a run. There's just so much of it going on that, it's a great division, and the people in it are really good. So, just an awesome place to be, I reckon.
Yeah, no. So we were talking a bit before, and you mentioned to me. So you've been both a driver and also an official as well. So you've actually given your time back to the club, back to the wingless Victorian community. How did you find your time when you were sort of doing that? Is that a tricky sort of order by wearing both hats, or?
Yeah, so I was I've been on the committee in Victoria here for probably only 12 months. When I first started racing, I wasn't on the committee, so I've been on it for 6 or 7 years, and there's a lot that goes on. I did a couple of stints as president. I'll be honest, I was a terrible president. I relied on a lot of other people to do the job for me, but it was sort of necessity at the time through COVID. I did a couple of years as president. It was a tough gig. Organised a couple of the Summer Slams, and we'd be at the track, and I'd have the steward running down the hill to me trailer because there's been a problem with this, and back then it was Millsy, and Millsy would be storming across because there's a problem and we want to change this, and I'm trying to get the car set up. I've got guys hanging off my car everywhere trying to get it ready because I'm out the next heat in 10 minutes, and tough gig. There's a lot that goes into being on a committee, like on the wingless committee and AWSR state level. There's a lot that goes into it. And it's a lot of work.
Well, I don't think a lot of people understand that, and through doing this show, I've been able to speak. It's just picking up the phone and calling people, and anyone can do it. If you have any questions, it's better just to go straight to the people rather than trying to hear what the rumours are. And I find you get a lot, but I've started to, just by doing this show, sort of, I'm nowhere near a committee level person, but gee whiz, man, I could just imagine how busy it is come race night. So my hat goes off to every every official that we have across this country with Wingless. So,
Yep.
but you survived and you're still racing, so that's good.
Yeah. Only just, but we got here, so yeah, now still going. So,
Hey, one of the things where I first saw you, first sort of, saw you, and it was one of your YouTube channels. It would have been at least 2 years ago now, and I think you were changing like gear sets. And I sat there and I'm going through, when you hit those rabbit holes on YouTube late at night.
Yeah, you get sucked in on that.
Yeah, you start going down some dark holes. And next thing I know, I'm watching this guy and I'm thinking, hang on, he's Aussie. Hang on, where's he at? Oh, Victorian. He's changing gear sets. And I'm thinking, why am I still watching this? And it wasn't just that. It went to the next episode and you're doing stagger. And I'm thinking, why am I still watching this? Like, this is stuff that we do on every Saturday night. We do it sometimes Fridays or during the week when you're putting tyres on rims and blowing them up to make sure you got the right before you load them up. And I actually caught up a buddy of mine. I said, dude, like, check this out. I sent you a link. He was the same. He was like, why are we still watching? I said, I love it. I don't know why. I just love it. Well, how did that start? Tell me about the Mr. YouTube story.
So, funny story actually on how it originally started. I've always had GoPros. I've always strapped them on my cars. Back in the 3-litre days, and I actually I fly racing drones a little bit. And there was a Facebook post went up. What are your other hobbies in one of these racing drone? People had pictures of motorbikes up and bits and pieces. I put a picture of your race car up and said, I race cars on the weekend. And I just had a guy random message me and said, have you ever because we put GoPros on the racing drones, have you ever put a GoPro in your car? I'm like, yeah, every week. There's always got a GoPro on. He's like, what do you do with the footage? Nothing really. Like, it just sits there. And so we sort of started putting it on. That sort of got the brain rolling. And I realized I watched a couple of YouTubers that were like doing stupid vlogging type stuff, and they were lived these boring lives. And I'm like, I race a car. It's pretty cool. Like we'll film a bit of this stuff. So yeah, started throwing the YouTube channel up a bit and throwing stuff out there. And like I said earlier, I was really green. Like I said, the first time I'd been in the pits, I'm not from a racing family. First time I'd been in the pits, I had my own car. A lot of this stuff I didn't know, and regularly I'd get Facebook messages from people asking, like, how do the gear sets work, or how does stagger work, or so I just started filming a bit of that stuff as well, and that's sort of where it came from. And that stagger video is still one of my most watched videos. It's still getting like 4 or 5 or 6,000 views a month. Like, it's crazy. And it was a throwaway 5-minute video that I just threw in there, and still one of the most watched videos. So crazy, but you never know what's going to work. But it worked. So I still stuck out the last couple of years, but
I still think it's fantastic. I'm going to put the YouTube link. I'll try and add it into this episode, even though this is going to go on YouTube. So I don't know how that's going to work, but bear with me. I'll try my best to put it in there. But okay, so you've done that. I reckon it's awesome what you do. So keep it up. Keep up the good work. I'm pretty sure you've got a lot more other people in Australia who are saying thank you and keep it up, because it's just, look, as much as you look to these other things that the people in the crowd say are the best, the sprint cars with the wings, I've not been entertained by a winged sprint car race for a very long time. But any sort of wingless race, you were there. I mean, how exciting was the SummerSlam this year? To me, I thought that was just absolutely insane. Then you go look at the WoW series, how we got that sort of coming down. I'm just sitting there thinking, man, this is insane. We've had all these races. Unfortunately, except for this bloke called Tyson Martin, we're not having too many double-up winners. So it's actually gone pretty good. It's a lot more exciting. But I love what you're doing, man. So keep up the good work doing that.
Funny you say that about that. I've had so like I said, my family aren't really racing families. My dad would take us a couple of times a year. I dragged my mum and stepfather to a race. They come a little bit now. They're coming to the Australian title in a few weeks, but I dragged them to a race. I think it was down at Warrnambool, and we were racing with 360s or sprint cars, and he's, again, not a massive motorsport fan or whatever else, but he was the same. He's like, sprint cars are boring. You guys are awesome. Like, and because we just, like I said, we put on a good show. I love the class, and it works really well. So
just the fact they move around a bit more. And it makes it.
Sprint cars get into a single file a little bit, and like sprint cars are fast. You can't, that. But we'll pass 6 or 8 cars in a heat race, and like this is cars going everywhere. It's awesome. So I love watching.
No, well, you mentioned it, so let's talk about it. The Australian title at Mildura, you're nominated.
Yep.
When are you going over the inspection?
So I'm doing Thursday night. So yeah, I'd rather get it over and done with early. It's always nerve wracking for me, the scrutineering. I reckon knowing full well car's going to pass. We're all good. But I don't know. I think the first Australian title I went to, Daryl Sloan picked on me about something. It was a tiny little issue that we fixed up, and ever since then, every time I go to a title, I'm a bit panicky that I'm going to get caught with something that's a bit wrong. But no, so going over Thursday night, get done early, get out of the way, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. So that's the plan.
Yep. So how's your how you feel going? You've been to Mildura often before?
Yeah, I haven't raced there for 2 years, I reckon. I've had some pretty good results there. So yeah, know the track pretty well. Like I said, I've been there a couple of years. It's actually pretty close to us. It's only a couple of hours, 2.5 hours or thereabouts for us. So it's a pretty good track for us to go to. Normally get there once or twice a year, but I don't think I went there last season at all. So
right,
it's been a little while, but yeah, I normally enjoy it there. I normally have a pretty good run there.
Yep.
I crashed out last time. I think the time before that was their big 50 lapper, and I ran 7th there. So I haven't been terrible there at times. So and look, haven't had great results, but we've been pretty solid the last couple of months. So hopefully we can go out there and put on a show and not destroy it. But anyway, that happens sometimes too. But it's part of
it. There's one thing I've learned about the V60, and that is over a course of sort of a weekend racing, you'll start to see that V60 come around. Like, I never forget. So when we were following you guys on the SummerSlam series, just the way some of the younger drivers, the Cowboys and all that sort of stuff, elbows up, and you're just always virtually running that bottom, just ticking them off. And sure as anything, come dying laps of those feature races, there's that V60, and you're thinking, geez, where did he come from? But it's just like a little Energizer bunny. You just didn't give up. You just kept running and going and going and going.
Not very often can I run the top. I don't know. It's just not a skill that I haven't got. But lots of times I can make the bottom work when no one else can. So that works in my favour. We did it at Darwin one night, the Chariots last year before. And, yeah, we had a terrible run up there. But just one night I'd come through from the B and all of a sudden got into the A and just, rolled the bottom and just passed cars. And, yeah, it's good. Yeah. Yeah, they call me a bit of a gutter rat. But
no, dude.
I got to do what works for me.
You got to do what works. That's it. But that, to me, I'll never forget watching that. And I thought, man, everyone else is up there. But hang on. Watch it. What the heck? That's Mr. YouTube. And it was just you down there, just lap after lap, and you're just picking off cars. And I thought, far out. So, I mean, who knows how you're going to go in this Australian title. I mean, come the end of Sunday night, man, you definitely could be in inside that top 24. Are we going to be going 24? I can't remember if it's 24. 24.
I think it is 24, yeah.
Yeah, so, bounced out 24.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I've never made an Australian title A main. The first Australian title I ever went to, I missed out by one spot.
Oh, you kidding?
And, and then every year since, I've, crashed out of one heat and hurt me in points. So, never quite made it. Been close a couple of times. So, hopefully, like I said, track I'm a little bit more familiar with this year and hopefully we can get something happening and, make our way through. But we'll see. It's a tough gig. 110 cars, I think, going. So, yeah.
So, tell me, you were at Mildura. You were at Lismore last year.
Yep.
The spectacle you saw from that.
Yep.
You reckon we're going to get some sort of similar spectacle?
Got to be. Yeah. I actually didn't like the racing there. I didn't like Lismore, the track itself, very much.
I thought you would have loved it. I thought you would have loved it.
I thought I was going to. I came good in the end, actually. I think I ran the B main there.
See, I tell you.
And did pretty good through there.
Watch that V60.
I had a little bit of trouble getting my head around the place. But it was a beautiful location, beautiful. The big bump and the big barn up there for the Calcutta. It was awesome. It was really, really good. And I really enjoyed it. And, the fireworks and everything that happened, really good. And, hopefully Mildura's a bit the same. Like I said, I've been helping out with the Vic committee on that. And a lot of the guys, Pete Granger, Scotty Ellett, Wade Unger, Darryl, all those guys, Sean Fitzpatrick, they've put a lot of work into it. And I think it's going to be a big show. So hopefully it's awesome. So I always enjoy going to those big races, those big spectacles. It's good fun. It's been involved in something like that. So
no, I've been chomping at the bits ever since we found out where it was going and what I saw, and I thought if I know Wade at all, it's going to go bigger and better. So it's going to be great. Now, are you hanging around in town to do the WOW series after that or not?
No, I something else on the next weekend. So yeah, no, we're heading off. Yeah, just going to do the title and see what we can make happen and head home. But yeah, lots of guys are. But
You doing the South Australian state title?
haven't decided on that one yet. No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I might.
there is so much racing, like over the next 4 weeks of that Australian title. Like,
yeah. No, we haven't. I've sort of planned me season up to the Australian title, and look, I do that every year a little bit. I sort of forget about everything else once the sort of title comes around, and we'll get through that, and then we'll work out what's going on. If I haven't destroyed anything, we'll be back within a week or two somewhere, I'd say. So
well,
yeah.
All right. What other plans have you got after the Australian title? Do you have any at all, or
no, not really. No,
so
we'll just we'll run most of the Victorian stuff here.
Yep.
Do every year. The last couple of years, I've done a lot of traveling. Like we did Chariots and we did Lismore and we did Archerfield the year before that, and a lot of traveling. A couple of New South Wales state titles in there as well, and SA obviously. And I think this year we were just sort of going to focus. Now that the title is home this year, we're sort of going to focus on that. Focus on the sort of the local stuff a little bit more, and then I think next year it's going to WA. I think so. Going to try and get over there and do that one. It's probably the last state. I think WA and Tassie are the only 2 states I haven't ran in yet.
Yeah,
so
right.
we'll get over and do that one, and that'll sort of be the plan next season. So this season, we'll probably finish out the season, just run around home.
Okay.
See what's going on down here.
No, that's good. That's good. So, what is your favourite track of all the tracks you've been to?
Oh, everyone's going to want me to say Horsham because I go pretty well there, and I love Horsham. It's my local track. I've probably done. There's only probably one guy alive that I can think of that's done more laps around that joint in different cars. Normally I didn't go too well in the Vic title this year, but I went all right at the end. But like I always do pretty well there. But look, I like anything that's. I like it when they go off a bit. I don't traditionally like Avalon, but this year I've been really good there with the track going. It goes a bit slick toward the end of the night. I got a love-hate relationship with Simpson. I hated the joint, and then we had like right up until COVID, we had like 3 or 4, 5 podiums in a row there, and I thought, geez, this joint is all right now, and I don't think I've done any good there any since. So it's a bit funny, but no, Horsham was probably my favourite track. Pretty good, and a lot of that's to do with the people that are at the tracks too. Some of the tracks can be a little bit, especially when I was a president, can be a little bit funny to deal with at times, and through no fault of their own probably. But Horsham's always been pretty good, and there's a few of them like that. Lang are really good to deal with, but it's I like Lang too. Actually, now I think about that, I don't think I've ever.
I can't. I still cannot believe the first time I seen Green Flag went at the little hot laps you guys did in the and I'm thinking, is this legit? This track's tiny, but it was 2 wide, 3 wide sometimes.
Yeah, no, I didn't go very well there at SummerSlam again. That's another track I hadn't been to for a couple of years, but like I've had a couple of I remember running the fence there one night with Timmy Van Ginnigan, and can't think who it was, and Malcolm finished behind me. I think I finished second or third, and like we were up on the fence, and it was awesome. And then I had quite a good. My first podium in a wingless was at Lang. It's elbows out, banging wheels, but you're not going that fast. There's normally not too many consequences if something does go wrong.
Yes.
I've also had my first roll over there, so
wow.
So,
okay. Bit of both worlds for you.
Yeah, a bit of both worlds there, but it's a good little track too. I don't mind that place, but
No, that's good. All right, what's been your favourite moment in the sport?
Jeez,
You know what? I want to ask you 2. I want to ask from one as a driver and one as an official standpoint too.
I'd probably as a driver, I will say like I won the Wingers Classic in Horsham here a couple of years ago. That was awesome. It was I didn't expect to win that. I hadn't had a real good year. Things weren't going real well. Qualified second. A lot of quick guys behind me. I thought, no chance. Starting the feature on the front row, but I think it was Sam Martin got me into turn 1. I sort of pulled in behind him, and I thought, these quick guys will come through and get me. And I think a lap later, I passed. He sort of bulked up a bit, and I passed him. I thought, geez, I'm at the front here. All right, give me 4 or 5 laps, and these guys will get me. I was sort of pretty casual about it all, and I reckon I looked up. We ran pretty well all the way through green, and I remember looking up at the lap board at one point. At I think it was 7 laps to go, and I went, hang on a minute, like I might be a shot here. Like it wasn't until then that I realised that. Yeah, so that was an awesome moment. To win like a reasonable sized race at my own home track, and like it was pretty good. I had to jump out of that, and I was doing double duties that night, so I jumped out of that car and straight into the truck. Everyone's trying around my car trying to congratulate me while I'm running to jump in the truck because their heats are they're already rolling around for their final. I think come third in the truck final. But yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. There's a lot of like, not so much that I had a good night with a win or whatever, but like we had the front row challenge one year. I had a shit night, and I'd come from I think I started 16th. The leader took the 5 cars and started behind me. I'd come from the B main and just passed cars left, right, and centre, and like a lot of lap cars, and I had no idea where I was. And they had a yellow light with 5 laps to go, and they read out the numbers, and I realised I was running third. So,
really?
Geez, I've come from 16 to third. Like, this is good. And I had Alex Ross and Harry Ross, who were really quick at the time, in front of me. They were 1 and 2, and we went across the line 3 wide. Like, I had him into turn 1, but I was a lap late. But it's like races like that are awesome too, where you just you pull something out occasionally, and things start going well for you for whatever reason. And just happens sometimes. But
no, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, this is another question I've started asking, and I had to ask Arapower BJ for permission because he started asking these questions, and he gave it to me. Thank you, BJ. But the number 60.
Yep.
What's the story behind that?
No story.
No story. I thought we would have had a story from everyone. I thought for sure I got a story from you. Here we go.
Most boring story ever. So when I started racing, I bought a car, and it was the number. Back then it was HO, so Horsham 71.
Yep.
So I raced a 71 for a lot of years. And then I bought the Commodore, and I bought that from a guy down who was racing out of Alexander, I reckon, and it was AX17. So I thought, it's just a reversal of my old number. I'll keep that number.
Yep.
And so I just changed it to HO and kept running with 17. Ran 17 for years and years and years. And I actually bought my car from a guy down in Geelong, the first wingless, and it was V60. That was all it was, and I bought that car and it had that, and I ran for it was the end of the season, ran 2 or 3 meetings at the end of the season on his logbook, and we just kept the V60. We never changed it. So, nothing exciting there. Just it was what it was.
Fair enough.
Not too attached to numbers as a rule. So
no, that's good. No, at least it tells it. Tells the story, so that's good.
Although there is a truck getting built out there that's a HO60. So anyway, we'll.
So you keep it, eh?
Yeah, we'll
there
we
go.
Now.
Okay. Hey, another thing I do, Steve, is I try and give everyone who comes on the show an opportunity to thank their partners, their sponsors, people who help up and down the highway. Mate, the floor's all yours. Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, Horsham Off-Road, obviously my business, but we put a lot of money into the racing all over the place. So I thank them. Carmen's windscreens, Carmen's towing. He helps me out a lot. He's one of my crew members, or still is occasionally. He helps me out here and there. So got to thank those 2 guys. They help me out a lot. And Hateley Motorsport, yeah.
Nice. No. Well, look, mate, I really appreciate your time giving me, and I look forward to seeing you at the Australian title. I'll come up and put a camera in your face to see how you're going throughout scrutineering and make sure you're not stressed too much before you go over the pits. But I will.
That'll be good.
Everyone, I'll put in his Steve's Facebook page for his racing team. Please get on there, share it, give us some love, give it a like and stuff. And as well as also introduce his YouTube page. So everyone, if you get a boring night at home, you've got some entertainment there, courtesy of Steve. So thanks again, Steve. Everyone else, thanks very much for tuning in. Steve Hateley, see you again soon.
Thank you.